Hi, and you are?
Todd Johnson, otherwise known as T-Bone on the Playa.
Where are we at here?
We're on the Playa at 6 and H this year,
And what's
and
behind you?
standing behind me is a creation that is absolutely one of the favorite things that I've wanted to do for years, and it's called Playa Artifacts Museum.
Let's go inside. Check it out. If you wouldn't mind showing me some of your favorites and some of the stories.
There's lots of favorites here. One of the most favorites is not necessarily about swag, but the fact that I was able to recover a scrapbook from 25 years ago. And we have a few displays here of that scrapbook because we want to tell a history of the small art of the Playa. And we have displays here of all the different art that's been done throughout the years.
Okay. Which one should we start with?
Well, let's start with how it all sort of started, and that would be this one here. My whole story is that I first came out here in 2007, and we didn't really know what to do or what to expect, and came back in 08 and had nothing to do with swag pretty much, but I found out that a lot of people like to do gifting out here.
And what's swag?
Swag is something we all get. So it's kind of a fun little acronym, and I've enjoyed doing it, collecting it. People have been making things, but not as much as they do now. I mean, it's really exploded, the small art community, because really the whole thing about this is Burning Man is really fine-tuned to promote the large art out on the Playa. And that large art, but not everybody has the ability, the time, the effort, the money in order to promote big art, and yet a lot of people want to do the small art. And
now, while you continue talking, I'm going to get some shots.
Yeah, okay.
Keep talking.
And so, we started collecting art. We started making art. Okay, so I'm a retired engineer,
You are.
and
Okay.
and from that point, I started. I got to work out here on a laser engraver sent out here from MIT, and they had a fab lab. And I played in my very first year out here in 2007 for 2 days, played on CNC machines and stuff like that. And based on that, I kind of fell in love with a new hobby, if you will. And so I started making things, and those things I started making for.
I'm going to get on this side of you.
Yeah. I started making. I'm going to back you up here a little bit because this is a little bit of my art that I make for other people over about 5 or 6 or 10 years. And all these are like wood pendants or plastic pendants or something, because that's what I can do with my laser engraver. And people learned about me and wanted me to make things for them. And so I've been doing that for many, many years. Well, at that point, I put up all of this. And so I put up a display at Center Camp years ago. And that display is hanging this year, actually, at Center Camp. And from there was this lovely lady called Karen Christians. And I ran into her at Center Camp in 2014. And she says, I am writing a book about the small art and the swag of Burning Man, and I'd like you to be one of the 40 makers that I'm featuring inside that book. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, really? I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's like fate should have it or something. So I went down in early 2015 and we did a whole spread layout of taking photographs and everything. And so they actually were able to publish the book and successfully do a Kickstarter on it. And I have 4 pages inside this book that illustrate my art. So, and I can show that to you later. But in any case, from there, I met another wonderful lady that works at the Burning Man organization. Her name is Lady B, otherwise known as Karen Christians. And she, because of what we did at that museum, in that book, she started seeking and getting displays put in different museums across the country. Oakland Museum, Bellevue in Washington. Um, there's one up in Massachusetts. There's one in Vacaville. I mean, all over the place. But the best one, at the pinnacle of all of this, was the fact that in 2018, there was a huge exhibit back in Washington, D.C., in the Renwick Smithsonian. And I actually was able to get my art into the Renwick Smithsonian. And I was just, I couldn't believe it. So we all flew back there. And at that point, we became docents. I mean, opening day, I was a docent and explaining all this to the visitors coming in for that opening day.
You're doing now.
Basically, as what I'm doing now. And after that, it just kept getting better and better and better, because this has grown like you wouldn't believe. And that's all because we got published in a book in 2015.
Tell me, what type of people do this art, and why do they do it?
Well, and that's the whole point of why I do what I do. I have a mission statement, and not everybody has the time, energy, or money to do the large art, but everybody wants to have small art, and they want to be able to make patches or make stickers or make scarves or make medallions, or all that kind of things that over the years. And they've been doing it's doing more and more and more, because people can afford more and more things being made, and they can't really afford the large stuff, but this works out, and then they use it to gift, because the second principle of Burning Man is gifting. And in any case, from there, we've just progressed. And so after 2018, and being at the Smithsonian, and with Burning Man not really having a big venue out here for small art, I decided to create a museum, or a repository, if you will, that would be a place where people from anywhere on the Playa can donate their art to this museum, and I try my best to put it on display, and show everybody else. They get to show their work to the rest of the people in Burning Man. So that's the fun part about that is, so I kind of base things on what years they were made or whatever, and so this whole thing has grown and grown and grown, and now I know people all over the Playa, all over the world. And I talk with people all over the Playa and all over the world all year long. And it's just a lot of fun, because in reality, the swag is not about the swag. The swag is about the friendship we make, and the friends we make, and the people we meet, and the people we can help on this world. And so that's kind of where I have created this type of venue, if you will, for people to be able to display their art, because no one else is really doing it. So,
you want to show me some of your favorites?
Some of my favorites are, number one would be this panel right here, which is actually this panel right here is there's everybody that's in the Jewelry of Burning Man book that was published in 2015 is. Most of them have pieces in this panel. So I'm trying to represent everybody that have been artists in the book, and to show the kinds of art that was published in the book. And out of that came another gentleman whose name is Entomo, and otherwise known as Jonathan West. He lives in Boise, Idaho, and we have some of his work on display here. He has a vertical CNC milling machine in his garage.
Which is his?
Which is this wood board here with all of the brass pendants. And he gave me this board with everything that he made from 2019. And that board is front and back. And these were all the commission jobs that he helped people make their pendants and their swag from camps all over the Playa.
What were you saying?
So in 2019, a gentleman named Entomo, otherwise known as Jonathan West, and he's one of the artists in the Jewelry of Burning Man book. He came down and camped with us and made up this board to forever be displayed into the museum here. And he makes these brass pendants from orders that he gets. People contract with him to make these for gifts for all these different camps throughout the Playa. This alone is just his orders from 2019. He's been a great friend. He actually worked for Hewlett Packard for 20 years, and I worked for Hewlett Packard for 30 years, and so we developed a great friend and a great bond, and I really appreciate everything he does. His art is very well known all over the Playa, so people still make. He still makes things for every year for burners in different camps everywhere. Now, one of the things that I wanted to bring a light to, some of my more favorite ones, this particular one here is, and I might have mentioned it already, is examples of all the artists that are in this book that kind of started it all, called Jewelry of Burning Man. And it's still available to this day from KarenChristians.com and also on Amazon. So it's been a wonderful way to bring people together for a common goal and a common, it's a sub-community of Burning Man, basically. That's...
Where do you keep all this?
Most of these displays literally live in the back of my truck.
Really?
Which they stack real easy, and I can keep 100 displays in the truck actually all winter long, and they stack real in a nice little pile about like 2 feet by 3 feet, and about 3 feet high. I have everything set up so it folds down very compactly. Then one of my more favorite persons, and we have a website that he maintains. His name is Paul DeLanthier, and these were pendants that he made back in 2017, 2018, and 2019. And these are all resin cast, and they're absolutely stunning, and they're absolutely unique. Paul DeLanthier has been a good friend of mine, and he has since gone on to create a website called playamakers.com. And it's online as we speak. We have well over 4,000 images on the website at this point, and we're always adding images all the time. And then we try to identify where the pendants came and who made them and when they made them and all that kind of particulars. So this is all this in this display is resin cast, but it's a very special process that he developed years ago. And it's just absolutely stunning, his work. Okay.
You're a tired man.
I've been working all day. I mean, since 10 o'clock. We never stopped. I mean, it never stopped. I have other displays I've put together in the past. This one here came together in 2017. This is a sampling of medallions and things from 2017 and before. And that has been, I used to have this, well, this is always hung here, but I have other ones that have hung at Center Camp as well.
And you have more than just this, huh?
Oh, I have so much that I can't get it all in displays yet, but I'm trying. So it's pretty tough. Some of my other favorites is over here is My Way, and I was honored to be asked to work with Crimson Rose, and about 2 months ago we put together displays that are now in the Reno airport this year for 2024, and I was able to get My Way's patches on display in the Reno airport. That was really a cool thing that we could do. And then right next to us is another one of my favorites. They have a ski ramp down at Center Camp, and it's called the Black Rock City Snow Club. And these are many of the swag pieces that they gave out in years past.
So when people are giving it, it's not, they don't pay for it, it's just gifting, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's very much gifting, and that's what I give out, swag all week long, and then they give me swag to go into the museum so that I can eventually get it onto display boards, because my goal is to really honor them and respect them for their art. This is a small art kind of idea here. So, and people love to see their work on display.
I know out on the Playa, the big things can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
How much does these cost?
Well, people can have patches or stickers or something made for as little as $50. And so it's very affordable for these people because and then they have something to gift out. And of course, gifting is one of the primary principles of Burning Man. And so people are constantly giving back and forth, and that's the fun thing about all that kind of stuff. We get together for things like swag swaps, okay? Something we all get, a swap, and we just go over and we're just exchanging our gifts for somebody else's gifts, and anything that I get in I put into the museum. Or I try to get put into the museum. I mean, it's a lot of work following up on this stuff. So what we have here is only about 1/4 of what I actually have to be able to put into displays, which will eventually get there. But the best place is playamakers.com, because I spent a week up there a year ago, and we took over 4,000 images of all the swag, people's swag, so that we can honor those people and embellish those people and help them, get recognition, a little bit of recognition. I got blessed being in museums and in a book and stuff like that, and my goal as a mission is to try and help others do the same. So I want to bring attention to one other piece over here. I just got this about 3 days ago, and this gentleman is it's Larry's Ladder. This is an incredible piece of art. Here's 10 years of wire that's been recovered from the base of the Burning Man the day after the man burns. Wow. And he's taken little tiny pieces of copper wire and created what's called Larry's Ladder. And it's just an incredible piece of jewelry.
After Larry Harvey?
I think so. This is, sterling silver, and it was just created this year. And the gentleman's name is Matt, and at chatbrothers.com, and I really enjoyed. He has a big, huge display at Center Camp, and I think that I've known about him for a while, but we finally got a small display down here of his art as well.
What do you like about Burning Man Festival?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've seen a lot out there, but of course it changes every year. Part of my story is that I had this friend that says, I want to take you to Burning Man because my son goes to Burning Man for 20 years and I don't know how to camp, and you're a Boy Scout and you know how to camp. And I said, well, camping's a no-brainer. I don't care about that. So I brought him out in 2007, and at that point, he's never been back. And I've been back ever since because I kind of fell in love with this place, and it was something that I could do things for other people. So every Burning Man experience by every individual out here is a unique experience unto themselves. And that being said, people ask me, well, what's Burning Man like? And I says, I can't tell you because it's going to be your experience. So for me, it's helping other people and being able to provide a place for other people to display their art. So
right. Wonderful museum you have here. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I'd like to show off Suzanne. And this is her cape of patches. And I also want to, this is something we just hung up today, and it's just an amazing accomplishment, and it's a work in progress as well. Being that I have a laser engraver, I also want to bring attention to the little Burning Man model out here that I created. And he's 18 inches tall, and I don't make very many of them, but that is my design. Well, it's a basic design, but with artist creativity. So he's kind of a fun little guy to do, and I also want to bring attention to Lisa Guerrero, and she has these wonderful art pieces. I'm going to hang it. This is glass, solid glass, that she creates and puts them in that V shape, and she gifts. That's her gifting that she hands out. So and then people do tie dye, and people do. I mean, there's just so many different things out here. I can show you as well. I mean, another gentleman I love dearly, his name is Howard Davis, and he lives back in Massachusetts, and he drives a telephone car out here every other year. So this is one of his metal pieces that he has cut out, and I just got this the other day. This is my vest that I wear out occasionally. That the very special pieces that are memorable to me, and these pieces represent people that have created a bonding. I've created a bond with them, and so I wear a lot of their art in memory of things they do. And then this is something that we created last year. It's called the Rising Phoenix version 2. We have a version 1, both of those. All that's out at the airport right now, but version 2, there's 10 different pieces to this set. And we had a lot of fun being able to create this and share this with all the burners out here. And this year is this year's set, tessellated Burning Man heads, and it's an amazing set of 9 what I call pendants. So you can wear them as a pin, or you can wear them as a pendant.
Very nice.
So.
Well, I should let you get back to all your organization and everything.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, there's a lot more to cover, but we can do another session later.
And one more time, you are, and what's the name of this place?
The name of the place is Playa Artifacts Museum, otherwise known as PAM for short. And my name's Todd Johnson, otherwise known, Playa name is T-Bone. And Playa names, as you know, have to be given to you by other people. And one of the matriarchs to this camp, her name, great person, Farrell Hollowell. And that person is, she gave me my Playa name back in 2010.
Nice. And what camp are you in?
I'm actually in Laugh Camp. We kind of call it Laugh Camp, but it kind of has a little body meaning, means lazy ass fuckers. And so I've been with them since 2010. And we got, for the first time ever, we got a corner spot because the Burning Man organization really likes us to be able to. They like what we're doing, although they don't contribute anything to helping us other than giving us a pretty good spot.
Well, it's a wonderful place. I'm a first-time member of Laugh Camp. I love it. You guys are great.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Good work,
Take care. Thank you for coming and visiting us. We really appreciate you, Larry.
I'll be right back.
So officially we're closed at 4 o'clock.
Gotcha.
But that's okay. I'm not gonna come in and walk around. If I'm here, it's open.
Good to
And
hear.
I get all these weird things. People leave stuff all the time, but no, we're doing a video shoot.
Oh, cool.
That's gonna go on YouTube. He's gonna edit it and everything.
Very cool.
Larry, I feel so blessed to have Larry as a camp member this year, and we're gonna be talking about putting together a video that will be able to be shared on YouTube. So
Nice.
stay there, just stay quiet.
Could you say that again?
Okay, so I do have a podcast that was recorded on January 4th of 2024 with Super Suze out of San Francisco, and the website is intothefirebm.com. So and that stands for Burning Man, and you can search on my name, Todd Johnson, and there's an hour-long podcast all about our entire operations out here. There's a gentleman named Joel Briggs that is promised to fly in. We'll see if he gets here. But promised to fly in, and we should have a lot.
What do you have?
Yes.
What do you have there?
I have the necklaces. Remember I gave you the beads? How are you getting along with that?
Hold on a second. You gave me what?
I gave you the beads.
They're so nice.
Is anybody using them?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully soon.
Hey, you know what? I'd like to leave a couple of these to kind of give people an idea.
Leave them with Todd.
Okay.
Anybody that has a bike out there, can you move it to the side?
Yeah, no bikes out front. Just keep those bikes on the side. Pretty, 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 please. Thank you. The Rangers are on us. We want to keep them happy, right? You know what I'm saying?
What kind of music are you doing?
Give it up for these musicians
Whatever
because they've never
the
heard
artists
songs
want to
before.
play. We have featured artists and
What's she doing?
Pretty impressive.
some kind of like folk rock type of.
The next song
It's
is
just really
called Move
her. She's just
Mountains,
an
and
artist.
It's a
You
little
know?
bit more,
Yeah.
like a more smaller song, but I'm just gonna don't play it full. Oh, keep playing if you want. We can sing it together if you like. We can move mountains if we want to. We can fly high over the horizon. We can touch the sky. Come on and let me show you. We can move mountains if we want to. We can fly high over the horizon. We can touch the sky. Come on and I will show you. 'Cause you don't know what I can do. You don't know what I can do. I have a dream, it's so bizarre. It goes further than the stars. stop this one. Shine just like the rising sun. Nobody's gonna stop us now. We won't be just be done.
And what did you say, Helen?
Burning Man is a place where tech meets grunge.
Okay, that's good. Just to kind of wrap it up. But, and what did you do?
So back in 2009, the water truck was coming over and everyone's like, water truck! And everyone takes off their clothes, runs back and kind of gets wet and kind of cleans up. And that doesn't happen anymore, but I did it back in 2009.
Yep, I think we've all done a lot of it. You know,
I've done it once.
You've done it once. I've done it at least once.
Okay, I've done it 2 or 3 times.
That's what you did.
Hey, so Todd, I love your museum.
Thank you, sir.
What do we got here?
Playa Artifacts Museum, PAM for short, and it's just
Wow, it's exciting times here.
Yeah, we get excited about everything we do here, and it's just a conglomeration of all kinds of small art that we have around here, and we like to share it with everybody else on the playa. And that's where we're at, because not everybody can do the large art or the time, the effort, the money, but we all like, everybody can do small art, stickers, patches, and swag and all that kind of stuff. And so then we have a place here, a venue, in order to be able to display it for everybody to come in and enjoy everybody else's art.
Who curates it, and how do you decide what to use?
I'm not sure.
But it seems like a lot of it's by donation.
It's all by donation. Yeah, it's all by donation, and or stuff we make and bring out and put on display. And we always like to make and gift out swag, and then we get swag in return, and it's just a whole fun time, and it's a way for people to meet people, because it's really not about the swag. It's about people making friends and meeting other people with a commonality. So that's kind of the fun things we do. We use simple boards and simple displays, and put it all together in big plastic bags, and we just hang it on the walls and go from there. So and we're open, you know, all week, and we enjoy what we do.
Where's the collection stored?
In my truck.
Okay. And it all goes down?
All of it, all
the
the
bottom
display
half
boards,
of it?
The tent is in the trailer, but all the display boards actually live in my truck all year round, because I can stack 100 boards this high. It's only just by this, and that's how everything comes out here in the back seat of my truck. So we're very good at with compaction and making things like this. So it's kind of fun, and yeah, we stuff everything into a 5 by 10 foot trailer, and we have 2 buildings that come out here. This building is 20 feet wide and 50 feet long, and it makes 1,000 square foot building. So and then we this old military frames, and we just love being able to set it up, and this is our fourth year. Okay, 19, 22, 23, and 24. So it's our 4th year doing this, and it'll just get better and better and better.
Nice. What does your hat mean?
Oh, make Burning Man great again?
Yes.
Well, you can interpret that. We're trying to make Burning Man great again. I mean, you know, it's very simple. And everybody goes, take that hat off, take that hat off. And I'm going, did you read it? Did you really read it? And so what can they say?
We're going to make Burning Man great again next year.
What did you say?
We're going to make Burning Man greater next year.
That's good. A couple of the new things here are, on the way in, the radio station has anti-sexual violence PSAs. And another thing is you can't call people Burning Man virgins, since apparently somebody sued Burning Man for her 12-year-old daughter saying I'm a Burning Man virgin or something. And anything else? Pretty good time so far this year. what's your name, and how would you say Burning Man's changed over the years? And you can look at me.
Okay. My name's Ed Fletcher. I go by Major Sexy Pants on the Playa. Burning Man's changed. It's grown, and this year we'll probably have more virgins than ever this year. When I first started going, there was a lot more flames and a lot less LED, but the technology's definitely evolved, and that's evolved the experience. We've gone from a community that was mostly in tents to a community that's mostly in RVs. So there's been some shift in the way we burn, but by and large, the spirit to me feels the same, and I still love coming back to this community every year.
When did you start coming?
I started in 2008. And I've been consecutively since then, minus the pandemic year one.
How did you do last year? Were you here last year? What did you think about it?
Yeah, we were here last year, and to us, it was one of our best burns ever. It really, in the short term, it was a bit of a downer for some, but we ended up having a great dance party in our space and helped people stay warm and comfortable. We had plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of places to take care of our business. We really enjoyed it. I told people that you weren't stuck if you weren't trying to leave, and we weren't planning on leaving till Tuesday, so it was all good for us. Other people may have had different experiences, but it was definitely a task of radical self-reliance and community effort.
Nice. How would you describe Burning Man to someone that doesn't know what it is?
Burning Man is a adult and child playland where people dream up their contributions and gather their friends together to offer it, where everybody's invited to be an artist and an entertainer, and the permission structure says yes.
You're very articulate about it.
Thanks.
What do you do when you're not here?
I'm an information officer for a California state agency.
Oh, nice. Would you care to share your personal email? This wouldn't go in the video, but I could send you a clip of it if you want.
Sure. You can email me at majorfletcher@gmail.com, majorfletcher@gmail.com.
Let me see what other questions. What do you think about the board?
I don't know the board, so I can't really comment on the board. I know it's a tough job. I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple of board members, and both of them have been great, pleasant, interesting people that have helped move the Burning Man culture along over the years. But it's not an easy job to try to create an environment where we've all got some shared ownership in this thing that we're creating together, while at the same time managing this experience and this budget in this city of 40 to 50,000 people.
Well, what are some of the things the board has to do?
I assume the board sets the ticket prices, negotiates with the government, sets the culture, creates the paradigm or the sandbox for us to play in, and that goes from allocating space and what tents or what camps are important, and what camps are invited. It's really their job to set the culture, and everything flows down from the board.
Is there anything you'd like to change about Burning Man?
Like everybody, I certainly wish that tickets could be cheaper, and that it would continue to be democratized for everybody to experience. I think we should let people know that 10% of the ticket cost is going to the state of Nevada through their large events fee, but that's a difficult thing to kind of manage, and all of the operations that go into this.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Burning Man?
No, it's an experience that I think it may not be for everybody, but I think everybody would benefit from spending some time here.
Nice. And do I have your permission to use this in my documentary, My 20 Years at Burning Man?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And your name again?
Ed Fletcher.
Ed Fletcher. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Now we gotta sit here. So yeah, so he kind of just like he doesn't need we don't need time of like a professional necessarily person to be on like on.
One of the advantages in my office is take notes.
Yeah.
How would you describe Burning Man?
So Burning Man is a week-long event taking place in Black Rock City where participants from all over the world come together and create anything and everything they want. It is a large temporary city held in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada every year.
What do you like or dislike about Burning Man?
I like the sense of community. I like that you meet people from all walks of life, from all over the world here. You can meet some really cool people, like people that are just, you wouldn't know who they are until you start talking to them. And it turns out they're a lawyer at some big fancy, company, or they're, an independent artist, or they, they're nomadic and they just travel the world. So you can meet all types of people here. So that's probably my favorite part. I think also the art, there's unmatched creativity here, and I'm always blown away by things that I see.
Well, thank you. And your name is?
I'm Danielle Latimer. In the default world, I go by Relay on Playa.
Okay, well, thank you. And do I have your permission to use this in my Burning Man documentary?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
How would you describe Burning Man?
Oh well, actually it's a very difficult question how I would describe Burning Man. It's
Didn't even recognize
the
you. I really
city
like that haircut.
which
Yeah.
disappears for 1 week in a year, and where you can be wherever you would like to be.
Would you like to change anything about Burning Man?
No, definitely. I don't want to change anything here.
Okay. Well, thank you. Do I have your permission to use this in my documentary?
Sure, you can use.
Thank you. Look at me, and I have my cheat questions here. How do you describe Burning Man?
Oh, Burning Man is a place where people say hi to you first. It's definitely a welcoming home. It's somewhere where you get the chance to really explore who you are because you're put into this extreme environment. And I don't know, I would describe it as a place of growth and love. As corny as that sounds, I genuinely believe it.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So you find yourself, because the elements are hard, it's emotional, intellectual, and all.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about finding yourself?
I think you are one of the ways you find yourself here is through exploring some of these different art projects. You get to see different elements that you don't necessarily have in the default world, and it allows you to think a little bit deeper about some of these thoughts that you might not even have uncovered yet. And I think that's really good for our growth.
Great. What else here? How many years have you been coming?
I've been coming since 2018, and now I have my own theme camp because I'm here so much.
Actually, if I stand on this, can you hand it up?
What's your theme camp?
Minimal Chaos, Fire Arts.
Oh, nice. Would you like to change anything about Burning Man? Any thoughts about the board?
So, change is essential with Burning Man, and I don't think it's good for anyone to say that there's nothing to change. We are constantly growing. There's new technology coming out. There's new people who are seeing it. So while I wish there was change, and while I wish there was more inclusion, I don't think I would suggest any major changes, because it's the change where we find our growth.
Thank you. Let's see. Any thoughts about the last year mud experience?
Lots of thoughts about last year's mud experience. I was most surprised about the media afterwards. So in our camp we had plenty of food, plenty of water. We made things work. We had a shade structure. So in our eyes it wasn't as extreme. And it wasn't as extreme as it was presented in the media, and I actually think I became a little bit more traumatized from last year's experience because of everything I saw on the internet. But And I also think that last year really brought us together. So I found that I connected with my campmates more because we were forced to sit together and talk, almost like breaking bread, but in a rainstorm. And I genuinely enjoyed it. And I actually got to talk about a lot of emotional challenges that I had with people, whereas before we would just bike around and party. It really made us sit down and talk with each other, and I, oddly enough, loved that rainstorm. Also, we're here for a challenge, so.
Any thoughts about the Borg and what has to be done for infrastructure here and all that stuff?
Just infrastructure?
Well, anything.
Anything.
Well, it's
because I can pick some.
Okay, well, in terms of infrastructure, yeah, I'm curious, how is it laid out, how it works, and how people respond to it, or any thoughts?
Could you rephrase it?
Do you think the infrastructure works well here, or would you suggest anything be different?
The infrastructure is what we bring, so in order for anything to be different, it would need to be on us to decide what changes are made. And there are a lot of new things, a lot of new designs that are coming out. Even tents are changing these days. So I think that the changes are almost inevitable with infrastructure. So yeah, I don't really think too deeply on it, even though I have to build infrastructure at my camp. No, I think that technology is changing, so Burning Man is going to get easier for us. I mean, think about it. We have blackout tents now, so that takes away a lot of the work. And Burning Man's a lot of work, but with all of these improvements that we have with different shade structures, even our aluminum, or some of the poles that we use are more lightweight for travel, I think that we are in a good position for improvement with infrastructure, just based on the technology that's coming out.
Any thoughts about what you bring back home from Burning Man, or what other people do, or anything?
I bring home the concept of a safe space. Someone actually brought that up to me, and sometimes I feel like I'm cushioning myself in my world, especially being a person of color. Not everybody is coming with a genuine heart, so we have to often be mindful of conversations that are around us. And I love coming here to Burning Man, where again, like, people say hi to me first, and that is so different for me at home. I have to say hi to people first, and so I feel this like charge out of my soul when I come home, and I cannot help but to share that charm that I got here. And so I definitely bring that energy, that love home, and I try to keep that with my communities that I manage. So
that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me do it. Let's see. Anything else you'd like to say?
So I have a little tiff about radical inclusion, and I think this is a really big conversation that's going on. And one of the changes I think that does need to happen with Burning Man is reviewing our principles, because while radical inclusion is wonderful and needs to be done, boundaries are important, and I'm finding that people are not respecting boundaries. They feel entitled to be included, but that's not the world we live in anymore. We have emotional boundaries that do need to be respected, and I think we are using this term of radical inclusion to push past people's boundaries. And I think that the Borg needs to really review some of the structure and policy in it, because if we keep allowing boundaries to be disrespected because of assumed inclusion, it's going to push people away, and it's something that I really believe we need to review and change.
Very nice. Can you give me an example of that?
One of the issues many states are having is with the regional connects. A lot of times, regional connects believe that they have complete access to their cities, events, their structures, the way that the burner culture works, and they have this assumed power. But that's not how a lot of people want to operate. And I understand there are IP issues that need to be managed, and if you want to host a burner event, you need to work with them. But I almost lost my train of thought there. I feel that the regional connect system at Burning Man is something that needs to be reviewed, and they need to get their power checked because they are not always included to join projects that they have no business on, and it's happening in multiple states. If you go onto the Burning Man websites, you will see on their Facebook groups, you will see people complaining about the regional connect, and there's nothing that we as participants can do because they have this assumed crown, and it's really hurting us, and no one is talking to the participants about this.
I'll have to ask the Borg about that.
Please do.
Okay. Well, thank you. And your name is?
I am Ninja Witch, also known as Talia.
How do you spell your name?
Talia. And then my artist name is Ninja Witch, Ninja Witch. I'm a fire artist.
And your email, if I may? I won't share it.
That's fine.
Okay.
My email is Alicia Talia, Alicia, T as in Tom, Alia @gmail.com.
Thank you. Do I have your permission to use this in my documentary?
You have permission to use this in your documentary.
Okay, I'll try to share it with you.
I would love that. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
That's sweet.
Thank you for this. Good to talk.
Thank you.
Glad I got to get my thoughts and opinions out.
Look into the camera or slightly off?
Look at me, actually.
Ah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How would you describe Burning Man?
Burning Man is an event where everybody can be, well, as he wants to be. So this is a place where creativity unfolds. This is a place where you can, well, how can you say that? Well, you can fulfill your dreams, let's say. Put it in one word, or in one sentence.
Nice. How many years have you been coming?
This is my 17th year at Burning Man. So I started in 2002. A couple of times I couldn't come here because my two children were born, and of course because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
How would you say Burning Man's changed over the years?
It has grown a lot. When I came here first, there were about 30,000 people. Now there are 80,000 people. And I must say, it's gotten even better because many small things have evolved. It's now easier to come here. And of course, there were challenges because of just the size of the event, but we've overcome them.
So even though there are a lot more people here, it doesn't necessarily change the experience. It's not like wherever you are, there aren't necessarily more people. Would you agree with that? Any thoughts about that?
Well,
excuse me.
Can you say that in other
okay,
words?
Well, I agree it's different that there are more people here, but I don't feel it makes the experience that much different. There may be more neighborhoods that away, but that doesn't really affect me here on my street.
Okay.
Any thoughts about that?
So the event has doubled in size since my first time here, but it doesn't feel like that. Yes, the streets are longer now and the overall size is bigger. That means if you want to go to a party or to a certain camp or a workshop or a piece of art, you just have to travel longer, but it's just a few minutes. So it doesn't feel very enormous or gargantuan in comparison.
Well put. Any other ways it's changed, would you say, other than it being bigger?
So that Burning Man is bigger now, of course, has been a challenge for the infrastructure. So now the queues at the entrance have gotten longer than before because, of course, the highway hasn't changed. And more and more people come now in RVs or trailers. When I started to come to Burning Man, most people lived in tents. And you hear more generators and everything has become, well, more uprated, let's say it like that. People like their creature comforts.
That's true. Less nudity?
Yeah, yes, there's
less nudity, more expensive. Any thoughts about the plug and play camps? Do you know about that?
Yeah. So yes, there's less nudity than before. I remember in the early days or in the early years when I came here, there were more people running around naked or in very, very tight costumes. But nowadays, just a few. I watched a few people today at the Man, and they all had body painting on. So of course they didn't wear any clothes. But this has become rare. And a couple of years ago we had many turnkey camps or plug and play camps where you just showed up and you had paid in advance for everything, for the big trailer and the air conditioning and the food and everything. And sometimes it was really fenced off, so that nobody could even peek what was going on in there. And now they've become less and less, but quite close to my camp there are 5 or 6 identical enormous trailers with big generators. They have satellite dishes to watch TV at Burning Man. Why would you do that? So these camps still do exist.
Well, why did you think there were fewer of them? That's just what you heard?
One thing is that the org discouraged people, and they made it harder for the companies to set up these camps. Because as you know, Burning Man is a non-commercial event, and if you rent out trailers to people who don't participate, who just live there, this is business, and business like that is not allowed here. So that's why we made it harder for these companies to set up turnkey camps or plug and play camps like those, but they still do exist. So probably they found another way to get around that.
What would you say you bring home from Burning Man, or what do other people bring home? How does it help the rest of the world?
So at Burning Man you experience the interaction with other people. So when I came to my first Burning Man, my friend who brought me here said, "Hey Axel, only the best people show up. 95% of them could be my friends." And I thought, yeah, you're telling me. But he was, in a certain way, he was right. Because there's so many great people here, and even people you wouldn't meet in your daily life. So many characters, people from all over the world, and people you wouldn't meet at work. So that's why I think the interaction with the people here is the best thing about Burning Man. And I'd like to come here every year because of the people. This is what drives me here.
What do you do for a living?
I work as a video producer, so that's why I'm with Media Mecca. And I also do photography and I write.
Where do you live?
I live in Hamburg, in Germany, and yeah.
Are you a one-man band or a big-time producer?
Yeah, well.
I asked that because I'm a one-man band myself.
Yeah, so I'm self-employed, but I'm also employed by a software company. So I do most of their videos for their YouTube channel or for internal purposes.
Giving a good interview. Were you here last year? Any thought about the mud experience?
Yes, I was at Burning Man 2023, and of course we had lots of rainfall and we had mud here, but this was fun. So you just made friends with your neighbors because you couldn't go far, you couldn't use your bicycle. And when I read what the German press wrote about this, I thought, guys, nobody of you has ever been here. They wrote about a catastrophe, that people got stuck here, they couldn't leave. And everybody could leave. We even had shuttle buses. We even had guys who towed you out on request. So this was completely exaggerated in the media. Well, we just had 2 days of wet fun. People even made sculptures out of mud. And this was a bit wet, but it was big fun. It was a change.
You give a good interview. I guess being a producer, you know how to give a good interview. Any other thought? Someone else this question, they didn't get where it's coming from. Any other thoughts about the infrastructure at Burning Man? And it's just interesting how they lay it out, how it all works, how it's pretty much been the same. Any thoughts about the infrastructure?
What I totally love about Burning Man is that we have roads and we have streets here. You can give people your address. At other events, let's say at a regional burn, where you really have to describe where to other people so they can find you. This makes it a lot harder then. And here we have these, the street system, so you can really pinpoint where you are and tell people where they shall go or where an event is. You can easily find it. I like that a lot. And I like that here we have that everything's very much organized here. So to give you an example, a few weeks ago I went to a techno festival in Germany. 60,000 participants, and everything there went wrong. Everything. They've been doing this for 30 years and everything went wrong. And here everything went smoothly this year so far.
It's interesting how it's designed that there are more people, but they can just expand it, and it's kind of an expandable design. Okay. Did I ask you what you thought of the Borg? And you kind of said some. Any other thoughts about the Burning Man organization?
About the organization. I think we have to skip that because I don't have any direct contact with them. So.
Are there any changes you'd like to have happen at Burning Man?
Yeah, so there's one thing that I'd like to see changed here. Almost everybody here uses a generator, and in Europe people use solar panels, so it's a lot quieter. And for instance, if you go to if you attend a burn in, let's say you go to the borderland in Sweden, this is the regional burn in Sweden, there's free hydropower for everyone. So not a single soul brings a generator. But here everybody runs a generator just to escape the heat because they want to run their AC, and you have generators here, generators there. I think it could be friendlier to the environment here. And of course to our ears.
Are you on camera much for the stuff you do?
Pardon?
Are you on camera much for the videos you do?
I used to be a TV host.
Oh, nice. I can imagine. Nice, you're good. Any other thoughts you'd like to say to what people should know about Burning Man, or any other impressions?
So, Burning Man is what you make it, and what I think is very special about this event, you come here with 10 friends, and everyone at the end of the week tells you completely different stories about Burning Man, because there's so much to see here. You can only see a very small fraction of it, so you make it your own Burning Man, and nobody else has one that's similar to yours.
That's cool. And your name is?
My name is Axel Vetter.
Could you spell that?
A-X-E-L.
I won't use this part.
Oh yeah, okay. So my surname Vetter is V-E-T-T-E-R.
And kind of your email, so I might share this with you?
Yes. My email address is Axel, A-X-E-L, .Vetter, V-E-T-T-E-R, @ and then in one word, axelvetter.de.
.de for Germany?
For Germany,
For
yes.
Germany, nice. Okay. And you want to say hi to the folks out in TV land?
Say again?
You want to say hi to the folks out in TV land? It's kind of a silly question. It's kind of an American thing. You know, you might be asked, say hi to the folks in TV land, but
you don't do that.
You don't do that. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot. That was really good.
You're welcome.
That's great. Good.
See how long it takes to realize. And you still here like 4 hours later. Like 6 months later, you've joined.
Yeah, perfect. Now if we're going too slow and we need hyperdrive, that's the tortoise. Push down. Yeah, over and over. Yeah. Now in case somebody gets in the way, you might have to use the horns. We have 3 horns. No, horns. Yeah, squeeze horns. Yeah, all three. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It kind of works. Okay. Now, in case you melt a microprocessor and we have to call IT, you have to ring the silver bells. Both of them at once. Yeah, both at once. Yeah. Okay? In case somebody's breaking in the back door, you have to sound the intruder alarm. That's these bells. Ring both of them at once. Yeah. Now, in case, don't forget, we have 5 joysticks. You have to use those too. And if we have to dive like under the ocean, push them towards me. Push it, try it out. Push them, yeah. And if you want to pull up like an airplane, you pull them back. Yeah. Nice. Okay, are you ready to play? Okay.
It's hard a bit. You have to. Maybe I don't have everything, but
we have the best. This game has the best self-help program in the industry. Okay, now the objective of this game is for you to save your pet unicorn who's being kidnapped, not by that evil Captain Drift from outer space. That's me. Okay, are you ready to play? You ready? Go! Oh no, it's a tornado! Magic vortex! Magic vortex! Oh no, Captain Drift's getting away. We need hyperdrive. Tortoise. There you go.
One by one.
Boing. Oh no. We're out of gas. Pump gas. Yellow. Yeah, a little more. Yay, full tank. Yeah. Oh no, that guy's in the way. We need some horn action. Get the horn. Yeah. Oh no, we need to dive under the ocean. Oh no, it's a big block. Pull up. Yay, good job. Yeah. Yay, 5-second replay. Go. Yeah. And you have 3 choices: fast, medium, or slow.
Medium.
Okay, here we go. It goes like this. Yay! Okay, wait.
Bravo.
What do you prefer?
And tell me, who are you and who are you with?
I'm Michael Dustin Fasman, and I'm the mayor of the Black Rock Tea Company, and we've been here for about 5 years. We feature human karaoke and wonderful tea.
How would you say how long have you been coming to Burning Man?
My first burn was in 2003, and I missed a couple, so this is my 17th.
How's it changed over the years?
You know, it's changed in 2 different ways. One is, this feels to me like there's a lot more people who just come for the rave and they're not participants. You know, they wear all black and they just take drugs and dance, and I'm certainly not against that. That's how I spent my youth. But there's a lot more, there seems to be an increasing number of young people that aren't into the spirit of the community and just want to party. And the other way is technologically, the LED, the LED technology and the integration of music and advanced technologies has really revolutionized the art and some of the camps here.
What do you like and or dislike about Burning Man?
I pretty much like everything about Burning Man, otherwise I wouldn't keep coming back. Physically it can be difficult at times, for sure. And sometimes some of the younger people are they drive too fast, or they're maybe not as respectful as they should be to the other people. But other than that, I love this place.
Anything you'd like to change?
No, I think they have it pretty well down. And at some point it might get too hot for the Black Rock Desert. They might have to move to the high plains of Wyoming or something, but that's far in the future. And aside from that, it's a wonderful place.
What do you think about the Borg, how it works? It seems pretty effective. And
the Borg?
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
Well, I mean, the org, I don't call it the Borg, but...
you call it?
I mean, just the org, is that what you're talking about? The organization? Yeah. When it's actually now Burning Man Project, and I think they're really well run. I mean, it's a 125-person organization, and they have bureaucracy and ways of doing things that can sometimes be cumbersome like any large organization. But overall, they do an amazing job of managing the thousands of volunteers that it takes to make this place. And most importantly, they all have the passion. Everyone who works at the Burning Man Project really loves Burning Man. It has a project. It's not just a job. So they really try to do their best to make it powerful and meaningful for the community, very community-based. And now they have a real awareness of bringing Burning Man to the world. And so it's not just Black Rock Desert, Black Rock City, but they're really bringing the 10 principles and the ethos out to the world with regionals and spreading what I believe is really fundamentally good ideas of bringing people together.
So how do you bring it back, the default world, and how do others, other than regional?
Yeah. I mean, certainly bringing art out into the world, that starts here, is bringing it back. But I think it's, more importantly, it's just the ethos of taking care of one another, taking care of yourself first, but taking care of others, and just thinking of the community as a wider, not just your friends maybe, or just your school or religious group, but a community spread out and get wider, and we're all connected. So community is really important.
Anything else you'd like to say about Burning Man?
Burning Man. I think everyone should experience it at least once. It's there's nothing like it. Although it never transformed me because I was older when I got here. I've met some unbelievable people and had experiences that I would never have had before, and actually some turns that went in a direction that took my life that would never have happened if it wasn't for the people I met here. So it's really worthwhile.
Like what type of turns, if I may ask?
Oh yeah, well, my very first year, 2003, I came here. We built big art, and I wasn't young, but I kind of pretended I was. I kind of forgot how old I was, and did the typical party too much and had a little meltdown and had to leave at the end. And so I kind of abandoned my campmates, grabbed my backpack, went out to the Exodus, made a little sign, Reno Airport. Moments later, someone picked me up. He was a program manager for a relief agency. And we started talking. I go, I'd love to make a video for you. 6 months later, I was in Afghanistan shooting a documentary about the women and women's schools and clinics for this relief agency. And I did documentaries for them for 10 years based on a random meeting here at Burning Man.
How would you describe the people here?
Describe the, you know,
Are you able to?
yeah, describe the people. You know, there's no one description of the people here. It's all types. I mean, obviously it's a, you know, more of an upper class white crowd primarily, although they're trying to bring in as many people of diversity and lower income. But, you know, it's expensive to come here. But overall, everyone is super friendly and approachable. And you can pretty much go up to anyone and strike up a conversation, maybe get a hug. And so, you know, obviously the age range is 25 to 35 or 40 primarily, but I've met 92-year-olds out here, lots of children, so it's a real wide range, but mostly everyone's super generous with their time and really kind. It's a kind bunch of people.
Well, thank you. And
thank you. I hope some of it's usable.
Do I have your permission to use this in my Burning Man documentary?
You have my permission to use this in your Burning Man documentary.
And your name again?
I'm Michael Dustin Fassman.
And I won't include this in the video,
sure,
but
sure.
Your email again, I have it written
sure.
down.
Michael.Fassman, F as in Frank, A-S as in Sam, M-A-N, at burningman.org.
And lastly, were you here last year?
I was here last year, but I wasn't here for the rain. So unfortunately, fortunately, I got sick on Wednesday, and I wasn't feeling well at all. And friends said they're leaving Thursday morning, coincidentally. So I was in Reno when the rain hit, not well. So I actually missed it. So I'm not of much use for that.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Oh, good. I hope some of it's usable.
Wonderful place. What's
Thank
the
you.
name of your camp?
This is the Black Rock Tea Company.
And what's going on now?
So we have Human Karaoke, and it's Ampersand, Susie Davis, who's an accomplished studio musician. She played with some top performers, and she has a songbook of 300 songs, and you come and choose a song, and she accompanies you on a real piano. And so it's a real live human being with a real acoustic piano singing real songs.
Thank you.
Hope some of it's usable. This is Elliot. Larry.
Hi, Elliot.
Larry's a fellow filmmaker.
We met earlier.
Oh, you did?
Nice to see you. On Michael's point, I asked him, why is there less nudity? And he said, because of social media, anybody will pop up naked on social media. It's a good reason not to.
I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna own me, 2 that wanna stone me, 1 she's a friend of mine.
So, what do you like and dislike about Burning Man?
So, I love that that this is like what they call a social experiment, but it's like a community of people who just want to connect with each other. And this gives us an opportunity to do that, being here. One of the things that connects us together is art. This is why we're here. It's not a music festival. It's like, I think it's like an art appreciation. And this is the only place that we can do art on like such a grand scale. But what we do here at the Playa Artifacts Museum is like we do stuff on small scale, like on personal to personal relationships. So what I create is like something that I can go out on Playa, have like a cool conversation with whoever, and like, hey, like this is my contribution to you. Like I hope you like my art. And then.
And what's your art like? And I'll have you show it to me in a moment.
Sure. You know, I create art, and sometimes I try to do it for the theme, but a lot of times I just do it because I like to create it, and it's very like intentional and purposeful, like what I want to create. So whether people like it or not, it's not important to me. Like, 'cause I like creating because it makes me feel good. All right, but
do you give it out?
Pardon?
Do you give it out?
Oh, yeah. So we have a fundraiser that helps support this amazing museum. I have a regional camp in Oregon called Golden Booty, and that helps a little bit, but mostly it allows to get more stuff that I can just hand out on Playa. So I can have like little interpersonal experiences through the whole event. You know, it's kind of a nice like icebreaker. Like, hey, you know what? You seem like really cool. I just want to gift you something. Have no expectations attached to it. It's I want you to like I want it for you to be a good experience. Now let me give you a backstory here. And once again, like I said, I'm I literally just, so in 2016 was my first year. My nephew had just committed suicide. And so I was sad, and I went to the temple, and I wrote out all the things, and I was really looking forward to the temple burn. But the people I was writing with were like, we don't want to fuck with Exodus, we just want to leave. So we're packing our stuff and going, and I was going to miss the temple burn. And I was really sad because I was looking for that like cathartic moment of like release. And so we packed up, we're driving down the road, we're heading to Exodus, and somebody's like, well, no, wait, stop. And we're like, what? And like, I know you guys are missing a temple burn, but here, this might help you feel better. And he handed me like a little vial of Playa dust from the temple. And I was like, what the, like, out of all the things, that made me feel better about the whole thing. I was really sad about it. And I was like, it made me think like, we don't know what's going on in everyone else's life, but providing art, providing something, it means something to people. And so that's how I really got into swag. So I make things because I like it, but I've also gifted it, and it's affected people in ways that I don't know about their personal life, but it's like meaningful to them. And so that's what keeps me going over and over, is creating art that hopefully it inspires people to create art themselves, or maybe it's just something they needed. And we can't go into all the various things. So anyways, I keep creating every year. And I do it also to promote something that I really believe in, which is swag, like because of that story. So when I met Todd, and he's like, well, I have 20 years worth or plus of, Burning Man, small art. I'm like, that's something I can really like latch onto because of my experience. And so, looking through like all of this stuff, like it was created for a reason. I mean, I don't know the rhyme or reason for it. It could have just been like funny shenanigans or whatever. But when you see somebody accept a gift that you put a lot of work into, and it really means a lot to them, it just feels good, And so that keeps me wanting to create more of it. And so this is my third. My third gift community. I've been here for 5 years.
Can you show me some of your art?
Right. So this is just one of 9 different colorways this year.
Tell me about it.
So this was originally designed for 2020 multiverse. And if you look really close, there's a bunch of Burning Man heads. So it's like a Burning Man within a Burning Man within a Burning Man. And it kind of was supposed to represent all the possibilities of the multiverse, which also kind of represents our potential. Like we can be so many things. And it never happened because obviously the event got canceled. So I kind of put it on the sideline. But I really liked the design. And I don't create things specifically for the theme, but I thought it was a good introduction, for Curious and Cursor, because it's almost like going down the rabbit hole, right? Now, if you go to my original design,
let's go look at it.
Right.
What's your last name, Diego?
Can we look at this once again? So if you look at the original design, this is just one of 6 that I did this year. But this was for Metamorphosis, which I really love. Phoenix, the idea of like birth and renewal and stuff. And so, and there's like an Egyptian piece of art that is almost the same thing. But I was like, it's literally like a Burning Man symbol. And so I created this originally, and also like with the moon phases, each represent each part of the clock, so anyways, so I created this originally for V1, and each one of them has a name. This one specifically was like Fesca Piscis, which is like when two circles combine, it creates like a circle with like an eye in the middle. But that's actually physically how light is created. Okay, so actually I really love this. So when it glows in the dark, it's completely different.
It was glowing in the dark last night still.
So then, and that was great. Like, and that's how I met Ranger Beauty. Through this first one.
Yeah, and I gifted that to him and his wife, and he's been hooked ever since because Slack Farmer, he's with Radio Electra 89.9, we're a radio station, and big supporters of art. And appreciation is the best form, you know, in exchange.
It makes me love it.
In exchange. And this is for you.
What
So
is that?
that's for you.
Oh wow, what is it?
It's,
Hold it still.
hang on. Don't you love it?
Home. This is where we're at.
So thank you for coming and doing the interview. We appreciate you. So that's yours. And there's one for a friend.
All right.
So.
You'll put it on me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So that was 2019. Now fast forward to last year, 2023, Animalia. Overwhelmingly, people were like, I want more, I want more, I want more of it. And of course, like I'd already gifted out, like I actually didn't even have a whole set for myself because I had gifted out so much. I had to get the rest of the set from Todd because he had it. But that was my thing. I love gifting. Like it's not about me having things and like, oh, look at me, I'm awesome or whatever. I love gifting. So
We have the gift economy here. What's that all about?
The gifting economy. Okay, so take swag and everything out of it. What it really is like, imagine a society where everybody had something that everybody needed and they were willing to give it freely with no expectation. Because a real true meaning of a gift is gifting without expectation of a return. This is like, I know you need this, I have it. You know, it makes your life better. So to me, that's gifting. But so the fast forward, so for Animalia, over here, I decided instead of, I took out like the pentagram and I decided to make these. So now instead of moon phases, these are all the principles. Except for this one right here is like the overview of the temple.
What are the different principles?
Right, well, so there's decommodification, radical self-reliance, there's, I don't know, if you're not a burner, you don't know them, then read up on it. Like, but you know what, but I take all of those at heart at home, because what I do is like, you should pick up after yourself. You should include everyone. You should be civically responsible in your community. Like all these things, like they're not like these abstract ideas. Like these are things you can literally do at home.
So have you or have others brought it back home from being inspired here?
I mean, I don't have a big community in Portland. I live in Portland. I don't really have that community there. But I don't need a community. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I feel compelled to contribute, like to the community I decided to include myself in.
Okay.
So, and if you were to pull the back, I have the 11 principles on there, which consent is number 11, which I believe should be an official, principle.
Why is that? Because people take advantage of the naked people?
Well, it's not even just about naked people. It's like, even, hey, can I borrow your needle nose pliers? That's consent. Like, it's all about like making sure like everyone's like okay with how you're interacting with everybody else. Like, sure, everybody says consent like within a sexual nature, but it extends more than just that. Like, consent is, do I have your permission to go into your space so you feel sacred? That is, like if I was going to your tent, like, hey, oh, is it cool if I grab a thing? Well, that's consent. You give it to me. And I appreciate that because you trust me enough to go into your personal space to do something. But then, of course, it goes to, sex and, all the other things.
Consent's not one of the principles, though, is it?
It's not an official one, but it's the unofficial 11th
and
principle.
It's becoming more and more so. I heard
Right,
PSAs for it.
But I believe it should be, because there's a lot of people that come out here and do things that, for their own agenda, but that means they don't have community in mind, right? Like if you have community in mind, you would ask if you could do something that intrudes on their space, their physical body, their, you know. So, but anyway, so I typically do like I typically name all the pieces. This year I didn't do it. I was going to do things for Curating here, but anyways, if you were to look at this, so this one would be like, this is Temple Burn. This one is Sparkle Pony. This one would be Mutant Vehicle. This one is Tutu Tuesday, and I do like little delineations, like looks like a tutu. Ice Run, Shirt Cocker, Center Camp, right? This one's Temple. This one's Temple Burn. This one's Dark Wad, and then this one is Thank You Ranger, right? So, of course, like I picked all the colors from there, you know, and so this is like a tribute to the community that I've known, grown, and loved for various reasons, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get some close-up pictures.
Yeah, go ahead.
But do I have your permission to use this in my documentary?
Of course you do. Yeah.
My 20 years
I would love people to. I would love people to, at least get an insight into like what I feel is why I burn.
Yeah.
You know, and it might not resonate with everyone, and that's fine. But that's my reality.
What's your name again?
My name is Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Yeah.
Right.
I've been hearing it out at my campsite. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
And can you give me your email? I won't put in the video.
Sure. It's john.douglas.cody@gmail.
Cody, C-O-D-Y?
Correct.
Okay.
I have 3 first names.
What's your full real name?
John Cody. Right, so Cody's my last name. Douglas is my middle. So john.douglas.cody@gmail. And you can always get a hold of Todd, too, because, I mean, him and I correspond all the time.
Good interview. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much. I'm finding more and more, like, so I went, do you want to put this on here, too? Are you still recording?
I'm still recording.
So I went to Camp Question Mark last night because I know the owner. I just kind of checking in. I was going to I gifted him some of my this year's swag. One of our supporters was camping there, and he was just like, I got your stuff last year, I got your stuff this year. I love and I really want to support your art. It means so much to me, and for the same reasons I was saying earlier, I don't know how it's going to affect you, but this guy was just like, I am so thankful for what you're doing, and I want to support your future stuff.
Very nice.
Right, and so it's like, that gives me motivation, like it gives me validation that what I'm doing is right.
Nice.
You know, not just for me because I like creating it, but I'm creating it for you and you and you and you and everybody else.
What is swag?
Stuff everyone gets.
Say swag is?
Swag, stuff.
One more time.
Stuff everyone gets.
And what is that? Do you mind saying swag is?
Swag, S, stuff.
Swag. Stuff.
Stuff we all get. Right, so it's like, it's meant for everyone.
So say it one more time. Swag is stuff we all get.
So swag is stuff we all get. And that means it's meant for everyone. I create it, I want to give it to everyone else. I don't have an expectation of a return. I like to see a smile on your face. And maybe I'm the guy that gives you that vial of Playa dust that affects that makes you feel good. You know, that's why I do it. I don't do it for myself, although I love creating. I do it for everyone else. I love seeing the smiles on Playa when somebody just gets something amazing. That gives me joy. So
I'm gonna get closer.
No, go ahead.
Good interview. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Yeah.
How many BMIDs do you have? Yeah, how many do you have? 1, 2. Oh, you're only 2? Alright, I thought you were more for some reason. I'm 5.
Is that abalone?
I'm 5.
Okay, you guys. Oh, and I got these.
I know, but you want this. So
More swag, all right.
Yeah, this is
Playa,
my patch.
Playa.
Playadipity, because you never know when the Playa is going to gift you. Because it's like serendipity, but now it's Playadipitous.
Very nice. Did you make that?
Yes, this is my personal patch. I'm Ranger Beauty. So I've been 21 years with Rangers this year, 11 with ESD, and 11 as a Thunderdome medic, and it's my 25th burn.
Wow.
So
Can you get a close up? Hold it right there. Stand by. Can I interview you a little bit out in
Sure,
front?
absolutely.
Happy burn, lady.
Hey! Oh, yes!
First question is, what do you like and what do you not like about Burning Man?
What do I like? I like being able to be with my campmates and see them at least once a year, because it's like a big family reunion and it touches my heart to be with them. And it's just so nice to make new friends. And my first burn was in 2000. So this year marks my 21st year as a Ranger, 11 years with ESD, and 11 years as a Thunderdome medic. And the people from all the different departments, they come together so much. And that's what I love, because they make the community a whole and they work together.
How has Burning Man changed over the 21 years you've been here?
Well, when I was here in 20, it was the last year they burned the man on hay bales. So that was different. And I'm going like, well, they're burning the man on hay bales. And then it's just poof, it's gotten so bigger and better. And it wasn't fireworks back then. And it's more show and fire spinners and everybody just coming together to share their art. And that's what I like about that, because it's just gotten better each year. And that's why I keep coming back. So,
well, what should people know about Burning Man to encourage them to come out here? Can you tell us about that?
I think they should try it. It's not for everybody. It's a harsh environment. If you don't do well in dry desert, high heat, it's not for you. Try the regionals. The regionals I highly recommend. We live in Pennsylvania. We go to Love Burn in Florida, Portal Burn in New York. We've been to Playa del Fuego in Pennsylvania. And when we lived in San Diego, we do Utopia, Bequinox, Saguaro Man. And I've been as far north as Burn in the Forest in Vancouver and Sea Compression in Seattle. So there's something for everyone around. You don't have to be at Burning Man to be a burner.
How do people bring home the burn to their local communities?
I think everyone gets touched in a different way. And for me, it's just going back and being energized. And then you have the classic decompression. The decompression is kind of like the letdown. And some people go into almost a depression because everything goes from to. So you have to know how to manage that and be able to call your friends or have your support. And then look forward to the next burn or the next regional. And the only thing I don't like about this is the commute from Pennsylvania. And it's a long haul. It takes us several days, you know, and it's a commitment. It's a financial, you know,
And what do you take with you?
I take with me my number one husband, Ranger Rat Bastard. We've been married 26 years this month on the 16th, and we left on the 17th of August. And we'll be gone till the 17th of September. So we're kind of making this an anniversary trip.
Nice mustache.
Yeah.
What are your Playa names again?
I'm Ranger Beauty,
I'm Rat Bastard.
and he's 19 years as a Ranger this year.
Any changes you've noticed over the years?
More than I can express in 20 seconds.
Okay, how about 21 seconds?
Do your best.
Well said. Let's see, what other my questions?
Oh, that's great. You have the questions down there.
Were you here for the mud event last
Yes.
year?
Yes, we were.
Yes, we were. The Mudpocalypse.
You know, the people that kept their heads and just stayed in place, everything worked out fine. We had the community that we are. And the people that bailed and created a mess on the way out were people that didn't really understand why they were here in the first place.
And they missed it because the party was within your camp and getting to know your camp members better.
And your adjacent camps.
And not having a meeting
adjacent
at
camps.
the camps nearby, because they would help you out. If we needed something, they would have it, or we would find resources for them to help them during that time of need. And it was worth staying the extra time.
Yeah.
It was great.
I mean, obviously some people have time commitments that they can't stay, but I mean, if everyone had just kept their heads a little bit more, it would have been much less dramatic. And it was a slow news week that week, so obviously that's why it made national news as well.
We had people calling and emailing. It's like, are you okay?
People,
that we've never heard, we haven't heard from years.
Yeah.
Are you okay? And it's like, yeah, we're
okay.
Fine. We're fine. We're having a great time. Wish you were here.
That's kind of the funny thing about this event. When something like that happens, it changes your experience. Like, if you just walk instead of riding your bike, you have a completely different burn. Or if you get on a mutant vehicle instead of, hanging out at camp. Like the ways that you travel around this community will be completely different with your different modes of transportation during the day or the night. And so I always like to have a forcing factor where I don't keep repeating the same ways of going around Burning Man, because you completely once you're on foot, you actually have even more interpersonal interactions with the camps and stuff, instead of blowing by them. Yeah,
I found that too. And lastly, would you suggest any changes to Burning Man?
It evolves, so I don't think it's a matter of what you think it should be. It's what it's going to be. And you have to decide if you're satisfied with that or not. When we first started burning, there were people that felt the event was changing in a way they didn't like back then, and so they bailed out. But there's been obviously people that have replaced them. So that's how the community evolves. And
may I help your right side of your mustache?
Oh. Does it need a twist up?
It needs a curl and a twirl?
Yeah.
Thank you. He's the best.
And lastly, is there anything else you'd like to say about Burning Man?
Well, thanks for the memories. And I have something. You can't burn them all. You can't. You can't burn them all. If you come and you miss a year, or if you decide to burn over, it's okay. And if you want to go to regionals, it's okay. Do what you feel in your heart. Follow your heart. And just be happy, because this has made me a happy person. Nice. A happy person, and I wouldn't be the person who I am and without my husband of going on 27 years now.
Very nice.
So.
Do I have your permission to use this in my documentary, my 20 years at Burning Man?
Absolutely, yes, and our campmate is Slack Farmer.
Of course.
And your name is?
Ranger Beauty.
Can you give me your email? I won't put this in.
It's really hard. rangerbeauty@yahoo.com.
And your name is?
Rat Bastard.
I am Slack Farmer, slackfarmer@gmail.com, or Chris Collins.
Thank you. And I love myself.
Thank you so much.
Good
we
interview.
appreciate you.
Good interview.
And we'll look for that, and let me know when it's posted. Thank you.
Fundraiser donation set last.
Can you show me that again? Let's see that again.
What, the back of it?
And the other side.
He wants to see what
so that was the V2 Verizon Phoenix that John Cody designed, and we implemented these guys last year. So, and then this was 2023, and then we have the also V1, which was the version 1 of 2019. So those were all really.
Nice.
Those were just,
Thank you.
And so this is our set this year. This is John Cody did all of it, and it's all.
Well, start off, and you are?
I'm Fallout.
And why are you here, Fallout?
I am here because I made a plan on New Year's Eve to come here.
How many times have you been here?
This is my first time.
First time?
Yeah.
How's it different than you imagined it to be?
I think it's bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Like I've been to our regional, which is smaller. This is just, the size is like enormous. And the Playa is fucking cool, like how much shit there is on there.
I agree. What do you like about Burning Man, or what do you dislike?
Well, what I like is I like participation a lot. That's my number one principle.
Your what?
Participation. That's my favorite principle of the Burning Man principles.
Why?
Because I think it's great to engage with people. I'm an extrovert. I like talking to people and like engaging in projects and making costumes. Costumes probably my other favorite part, like getting dressed up. I love getting dressed up all the time.
What do you do in the default world?
What do I do in the default world? I work in marketing communications for a small agency. They know I'm here. It's all good.
What would you like change different about Burning Man?
I don't know. I don't think I know it well enough to say something that I would want to change.
What do you think about how it's all laid out and organized?
Well, it definitely takes some getting used to, figuring out all the streets and stuff. I found that a little confusing, but sorry, was it what I like or what I want to change?
Well, it works out pretty well though, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I think so. I just need to get used to it. I'm still figuring it out. This is only my third night here, so I'm still finding my way.
Let's see what other questions. How would you describe Burning Man to someone that hasn't been here?
Constant discovery. Yeah.
Can you say Burning Man is constant discovery?
Burning Man is constant discovery. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Every corner you turn, there's something else to explore. There's the guide, but there's tons of shit that's not in the guide, so you don't know what you're gonna stumble upon or who you're gonna end up going out with or what you're gonna do. So, and you have to be open to discovery or exploration and finding things. And also participation. Like I said, that's my favorite principle. Is that if you want to find things, you have to look and find them. And then they kind of just appear. It's crazy like that.
One of the principles is immediacy. And can you relate to that?
Immediacy. I mean, everything happens in the moment. So I think that's probably part of it. But I would also say things don't have to be right now, right then. They happen when they happen. So maybe that's also the other side of immediacy. Has two meanings.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are my other questions? Do you have any thoughts of what you might bring home from this experience?
Well, I have always had this idea. So there's a bar down the road. It's called Niet PR, and they're a radio station, and a bar and stuff. And I've always wanted to do this project called Good Night with Nina, which is my real world name. And it's a talk show idea where I could interview people as a talk show. So having seen that bar, I was oh, I could have a project where I run a talk show and do something like that. So my takeaway is maybe this is the right space, maybe Burning Man or a regional to do that project. And it would be good because my idea for Good Night with Nina, or maybe we call the Fallout. Anyways, we'll find out.
Called what?
The Fallout, which is my Playa
right,
name,
yeah.
because then we're why would I use my real name? Is to talk about what does it mean to have a good night? What does it mean to go out? What does a good night look for you? You could read bedtime stories sometimes. You could talk about a good night or what night means. So I think I may have found the right place to run this idea. Yeah.
Nice. Anything else you'd like to say about the Burning Man experience?
I'm looking forward to discovering more. I think that's it.
And what's your name? Your default name?
Outside of here?
Yeah.
Nina.
Nina what?
Nina Jane Dristek.
How do you spell Adrista?
D-R-Y-S-T-E-K.
D-R-Y?
Yeah, D.
Okay.
Dog. R-Y-S-T-E-K.
And this won't be for the video, but can you give me your email and I'll share this with you?
Sure. It's Nina, N-I-N-A Dristek, D-R-Y-S-T-E-K @hotmail.com.
Okay. Thanks, Nina.
Thank you, Larry. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. That was a good interview.
Yeah, thanks. Often I'm the one on the other side of the camera doing that. That's sometimes I do this for work sometimes, so it's interesting to be on this side of the camera. From that organization, and the organization is actually kind of shady anyway. So it's like, I'm trusting the Olympic Committee, which I would actually never do because they're all so fucking corrupt. But
with earplugs.
Another
so
notable
bad.
time was the
and they had so many complaints that they
Yes.
didn't even get placed this year, and they actually got told by the org you're not invited anymore as a camp because there were so many complaints. But
Yes.
but I don't remember the name.
There you go.
Somebody might, but that's
There
the
you
luck
go.
of the draw.
Yeah, what are you doing?
We are serving fresh fried bologna sandwiches just like this. The bologna goes on this wonderful bread with mustard, ketchup. You fold it up like this and you have a wonderful morning breakfast.
Show 'em how it works.
I got mine.
Vegetarian option. Vegan. Sorry. Well, it's all alive. We're all alive. See, this is the fuckery we get into. But there is a lavender realm.
Missed the whole event. I could have used you earlier, sir.
What are you serving?
This meat. This is our meat that we serve, and what we do is we prepare our meat, and we sauce it, put it in a nice little bun, and 9 months later, this.
You guys want us to put it up on the counter? I heard you call. Yeah, I was about to say
Who are you?
I am Colonel. I am the Colonel this morning, and I'm just here for just saying howdy to all the nice folks coming by.
Threads hidden beneath the forest floor that serve as roots for mushrooms. Think of them as the telephone wires of nature's communication network. Through this network, plants and trees work with fungi in a symbiotic relationship.
Excuse me.
So go take a look, dig in there, see what you see. Casey,
Can you tell me what you're doing today?
I'm giving an art tour on bikes as a volunteer through the artery.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I need to bring my gifts with me.
That's okay.
I couldn't have had it. That's okay. Every day's in the adjustment, so you go to the biological necessity, so you only do a certain amount. Yeah. And I heard the music. And so I
Excuse me.
No, I missed that. My wife won't let me go, which was a good thing. I was going to
Yeah, we gotta do that this
Acoustic mushroom moment.
Cool. I was warming up.
Nice. Thanks. So a unicorn is, apparently by definition, a horse with a horn. Or a metaphor for something that is highly desirable but difficult to find or obtain. There is really
Part of like invest your money and then it disappears.
Oh my god.
Your arm needs a little attention. I gotta think.
It's funny. It's taking me back to working with the float shop in San Francisco. We built all the floats. That was and we used
Sorry.
Symbolizing resilience and grandeur. The throne features large geometric shapes. Its arms are intricately embellished with symbols drawn from Africa. Over the Playa, he is painted in bright safety orange and reflective silver bands. He has steam rising around and through him.
Saying again the name of this piece?
Sure, it is Coney McConeyface, the life and death of a traffic cone. The artist is Chris Kiwi Hankins from the Cone Coffany Collective out of New Zealand and Reno.
Thank you.
There you go. Let's just stop and say there wasn't right now.
Could you say that again?
In the beginning, before Cone, BC, there was only the highway at the intersectional traffic.
That's
you can
funny.
read the rest of it. Yeah.
Be careful! There's a cone ahead. There is! Over there!
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Hey guys, so we have a couple of the project leads here.
Hi everybody, welcome to Naga and the Captivus. This is Stephanie Shippen. She is the Oliver Bonda here. Oh yeah, tonight.
So this is the story of an adventurous who travels the world in search of treasure and knowledge and botanical curiosities, and she carries cargo to pay the bills, and a treasure-protecting sea serpent who is sworn to protect something that she carries in her hold. He's been following her across the ocean until this fateful moment. So you'll have to explore the treasures and our enigmatic captain's quarters to figure out what happened.
And what's involved with manufacturing something like this? Like, what are the different steps?
Oh my gosh, well, I mean, people could do it different ways. I worked with an illustrator first, Imogen right over there, to do a conceptual drawing, and then I worked with digital illustrators to do a 3D model, and then I worked with an architect to do the structural design for the framing. I did an awful lot of prototyping. Metal workers, so I was able to do all of the different steps and then set up a team to develop those and continue them. I did not do all 4,000 scales by myself. You know, I prototyped and then taught a team of people. We got about 5 of us certified in structural welding, so we could do the tube. And,
about how much does it cost to do this? And did the board help supplement it?
Yeah, we are the largest honor area this year, and we had to fundraise a lot, and I'm in a lot of debt, and that is what it takes to make big art, especially for the real world, because this is certified to all the things that would need to go into public places. It's called Game Park, I think. We're in engineering talks. Cool. We're in engineering talks. Don't spread the rumor too far. We also have to raise a lot of money for it because the park's not going to pay for that. So.
We go to very cool places.
Did you say it's going to go to a public?
It may. We're in engineering talks with a public park.
With a what?
With a public park. We're discussing how the engineering works to install it.
Nice. You don't really want to say how much it costs, do you?
I mean, I don't know. All my credit cards are maxed out, and I don't even know because there's a lot of people that have purchased things and not gotten reimbursed yet. I think the whole thing's probably about $300,000. You know, and that's with nobody getting paid. So that's like I've paid my own shop rent, I've paid my own rent, I haven't got any, you know.
Do you know how much the board gave you?
They gave us 70.
70,000. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed
Wonderful
to say that.
piece. And can I use this in my documentary about Burning Man?
Yes, probably don't say the number the word gave us.
Okay.
I don't think they want
the total.
I don't know if they
how
want
much they
that.
gave.
No,
okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot. That's
yeah,
great.
Absolutely. So I named him Naga, which he is not a Naga, he is not an Eastern deity, but I wanted to give him a name that would point people towards thinking maybe there was something more than your typical, like, you know,
Sea
monster
monster.
wants to eat you kind of thing going on. But anyway, so in the all throughout Southeast Asia, there's the Nagas, and the female Naga is a Nagini, and that's the snake from Harry Potter, so it couldn't be a girl. But I like him being a boy. My captainess, you know, is a lady, and they've met on this fateful day, and so I do have kind of a whole story of what I think happened, but we haven't really had time to like discuss between the three of us. So at some point maybe we'll.
Thank you. I just want to say it's been a.
Are you going to speak in summer camp about it, or? I think we're going to talk on Thursday somewhere. That's the only one I know of.
It's been a pleasure because as a Bay Area expat from pandemic, like the builder spaces are amazing and the team is amazing, and it's been a pleasure watching through the Instagram account, as a fellow maker, right? Like seeing the R&D and the trial and error with the scales.
Yeah, I tried to put out what it takes to build it, not just the finished thing, because people don't know. They have no idea.
The specialty metal fabrication and like all the essential, like this is like a movie set, you guys. Like you have fucking nailed the detail level. It is phenomenal. Thank you for letting us bother you while you're trying. You're like, I gotta get this fucking
We'll
done.
just tell them we can't open it because we're busy talking.
Yeah.
So thanks.
And why do you do this, if I may ask?
I can't help myself. I mean, I'm a professional metal fabricator, so you know that's what I do, and I don't know. I mean, you know, we get Burning Man, which is this 1-2 weeks a year that we can be in this imaginal space and get outside the confines of what we normally experience in the day-to-day, and I feel extremely confined by the day-to-day, and so I really enjoy making these more imaginal spaces. And you know, having the art is one thing, but building it is an incredibly beautiful experience too. We've brought together so much community, people who didn't know each other, and now they're high-fiving and hugging, and they're friends, and they don't know where they're from or what they do for a living or anything about each other, except they've worked on this thing, and now they have this really unique bond and this really beautiful experience. And it was so cool to create that space where, you know, every evening people were there, like, we know somebody would be there, somebody would be working on it, somebody would be learning a new skill, somebody would be sharing a new skill, cheering somebody on. You know, a lot of people like kind of stepped into leading like smaller teams that have never been leaders before. People learned new skills. People did things they thought they couldn't do, and that really changed my life on my first build. And you know, it's really beautiful to bring together community this way and change other people's lives, even if they don't go on to ruin their life making big art like I did. They get to, you know, have this experience and know that they can do this, that we can do this really high quality stuff together.
Is there a certain requirement of what you can do to the playa? Like you can only go down a certain
Yeah,
amount of
you're not
feet?
supposed to dig into the playa. You can only
what was that?
anchoring. Yeah, I mean, we have helical anchors that heat sets, but can't dig.
Okay, hey, thank you. Do I have your permission to use this in my doc? Oh, I already asked. Thank you.
So this is the Temple of Together. The artist is Caroline Gosen out of Oakland, California. It is about the light that emerges when we come together with all parts of ourselves and with the oneness we share with every other living being. In this time of global challenge and conflict, the artist invites each of us to unfurl under her protection and be seen, loved, and inspired. Sorry, the temple invites each of us. I feel like, you know. The Temple of Together was inspired by the idea and form of two hands coming together in prayer, with the flow of the building's energy coming together and then emerging upwards. We want to create a feeling of being safe and loved. Together's central chamber offers comfortable seating and the warm, gentle glow of a pillar of light as her altar, which extends into a spire of light. She has 4 entrances and an ornamental fence with 4 gates, with primary gate representing hands coming together. Her courtyard is 140 feet wide, offers additional space for contemplation, with 4 outdoor shrines with additional built-in seating shade and offering space. Together offers an outer ring for walking, meditation, reflection, and getting to know the stories of our BRC family, with private rooms and alcoves with built-in seating. The temple has multiple niches and extensive shelving for placing objects, as with Heart, a total of 10,000 square feet of accessible space. The Temple of Together is about the light that emerges when we come together with all parts of ourselves and with the oneness we share with every other living being. In this time of global challenge, she invites each of us to unfurl under her protection. So the history of the temple, Just for those who want to, I can kind of, if you're interested in that, I can go through the history. I have the names of all the past temples. This artist will be speaking at the Manzonian Institute at 1 o'clock on Thursday, August 29th. And I know I was talking with someone. The Manzonian Institute is located.
So what do you have going here?
So right now we're doing some pinhole photography. We have workshops every day on the Playa. So these are our pinhole cameras. Very basic camera. It's just a cylinder and there's a piece of photographic film going along the outer edge.
Oh.
And then this is our aperture and shutter. So we take this off, we expose it for about 40 seconds, and then we'll put it back on. And then we have a dark room in our camp where we develop them, and then we gift them to either the participants or the artist.
Well, where's your camp?
230 and between Esplanade and Agog. Or is it Agog? Esplanade and A.
And the name of the camp is?
Pinhole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about Burning Man?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Can I use this in my documentary?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think maybe now you might be a little bit too, you might have done a little bit too much.
So it's a bit difficult to get it in between.
The rest of them.
I'm sorry, can I ask you about who you put this up for? I'm making a documentary about the temple in Burning Man.
I can, I guess.
Who's this for?
It's for Moo and Paul. And
what was special about them?
They were really important in the community. They, did a lot to help people with the arts and with eating good and living good. They were very kind to me when I moved to Brussels and first got there. And I really miss them. I didn't know how much.
What does it mean to you to be able to put it in the temple here?
I just hopefully just let something go. My grief. I have a ton of anger. That's the hardest thing I'm dealing with right now. The anger at they were murdered. And the person who did it, I have a lot of anger for.
Where was that?
In Brussels.
So do you appreciate having a place to honor them here?
Absolutely.
You what?
Absolutely, I do. I wasn't able to be at their memorial services. I was in the United States, and I felt really detached from it. And the first thing I thought about what I could do for them was to do something for them at the temple. I've been coming here for years and never had to tape something up before. I'm very glad it's here.
Well, I'm honored to get their story. Can I use this in my documentary about Burning Man?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
The problem is that these are almost like dust to, you know. The option is for me to get like a big solar system and then run it and have 110-volt lights. You see, but then that just adds an extra element. The problem with this is because some of these, they're 4 little spots or 5 little spots. Man, take a look inside. Man, we've been wiring the lights for days. You know, putting it up too quick.
Complicated, and hopefully we'll stand up to the wind.
I think I have faith. Man, I've got 2-foot lag bolts holding the whole structure down, and I have more rigging if I need it. You know, I think that don't worry. I think and with the panels, man, normally I just put almost like arms out with panels, but we thought, man, we maybe try to make it a little bit more part of the piece, you know, a bit more artistic for it.
Is it hard to design something that works in the daytime and nighttime?
Yeah, well, definitely.
What do you have to do?
I think, you know, I really like the lighting, but then sometimes I don't know. It's using this kind of tones of color. It really helps to make it look for the daytime, look nice, okay, or nice for the daytime. If the minute it becomes a little bit too colorful, then sometimes, it looks really nice at night or really nice in the day. But when we're using these kind of earth tones, I think that, stop by at night. Stop by at night, guys. It's, you know, I think the lighting came out really nice this time. But it's tricky. This is a very tricky question.
Why do you do this? And what do you hope people get out of it?
You know? Burning Man gives me the opportunity to do this, and I'm just so grateful that I'm thinking like, if I can contribute to this magic, I should. I just love Burning Man. Everything about it, the people that I meet, the family that I have, what they stand for, and the endless possibilities. There's magic around every corner.
Did Burning Man give you a grant for this?
Yeah, this is our 5th honoraria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is our 5th one.
Did it cover all the costs?
No, never. No, I think they pay about 75%, and then we do a fundraiser. I still end up in the red. You know?
What do you do in the default world?
I'm a chef, and I'm a trained prop maker for theater. So I know how to make this out of fiberglass in a fraction of the time, but I don't have the heart to make something that's going to be in the environment past my lifetime, because it's a beautiful planet that we're trashing at an unprecedented rate. So bringing something to Burning Man is my responsibility. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I
Pleasure.
use this in my documentary about Burning Man?
Please, please do. And thank you, Burning Man, for believing in us and giving us a chance.
No. Yeah, 2007.
How many years ago was it? My son is 30. My son is 30.
I'm 30.
So he was there. We were there when you were there. Was that the summer of Green? Was it the
Yeah, fun.
What do people, do you think, get out of the art here at Burning Man?
You've done Zouk before?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think that people really enjoy the opportunity to explore and kind of use the art as a way to deepen their curiosity about things and perhaps to find some inspiration when you're marveling at the amount of energy that individuals have used to create that piece, and to kind of think about things beyond what they've already seen.
What happens to the art afterwards?
I don't have a solid answer. What I've learned over the years is that some artists bring it home with them. Maybe they've arranged to have it displayed somewhere in their community. Obviously, some of it burns. I do think Black Rock Arts helps to place, or the artery can kind of help work with artists to place stuff, but I'm not exactly sure about the process of that program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And do I have your permission to use this in my documentary?
If you'd like to, sure.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
your
yeah.
name again?
My name is Patty.
Patty?
Yeah.
Your last name, Patty?
Simonton. Patty Simonton. Yep.
S-Y?
So Simon, S-I-M-O-N-T-O-N.
Okay, thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
take it
Appreciate
easy.
it.
Thank you.
Also, I got the Dr. Bronner's address. I met some of the people last night.
Yeah.
Tell me,
My ginger
Tell me
problems.
about your bike and about bikes at Burning Man.
Sure. So bikes at Burning Man, I would say, are a great way to low-key creatively express yourself. If you want something that is easy to approach when it comes to making art at Burning Man, it depends on where you're living, but a lot of cities in the U.S., it's a fun, playful culture. So that was one of the first ways I decided to bring a little more playfulness and uniqueness out to Playa. And over a couple years, I sort of collected and played with the vision of what my ride can be, and it's both utility with functioning form. Form and function together, I think, can make for great art. And so, as someone who needs shade protection in abundance out here, that was my first purpose. But then to make it playful and easy to spot in the crowd, because when you have 70,000 people on Playa, it suddenly is challenging to find your unique bike. So that was my first thought.
How would you describe your bike?
I would describe...
Hold on a second. Yes, how would you describe your bike?
I would describe it as nostalgic joy. Yeah, for me, it definitely has a lot of elements of childhood playfulness, which, sometimes we lose as we grow older. And so I think this is a really fun place to revisit that, or let it revisit you, express it, and embrace it again, because it is so uplifting. And I think as adults, often, in whatever our respective professions are, we don't get enough of that playfulness and that everyday joy. And so, in part, I did it for myself, but also I hope it inspires other folks to unleash whatever inspires them. It can be joyful, it could be dark, it could be there's a lot of art out here that isn't pretty, quote unquote. It's not bright, it's not bubbly, as I would, this kind of appears to be. Some of it's really dark and moody or demonesque, and so I just think overall the art is a great way to express dimensions of one's self and personality, and we're all multidimensional. So whether it's your heritage, your future, any of those things, like there's so many aspects that you can play with here.
Nice. Can I ask what you do in the default world?
In the default world, I I am a professional artist, quote unquote. So it's always a struggle to, as the lead for Captain and Naga and the Captainess had said, you know, art can ruin your life in the best way possible, but when it's your deepest passion. My strongest background is costume design, prop making, some set building, and I've done everything from, in San Francisco, there's one shop that builds all the parade floats, and so seasonally, you know, that's like a lot like Mutant Vehicles. It's mobile set making in which people have to be able to ride, and so as an artist, you're malleable and you take work however you can find it. But it's also a wonderful way to keep the imagination and the mind expanding, because you get to leap from project to project, and so that I think helps one to stay energetic, which is so nice. Yeah.
You're very articulate. Anything else you'd like to say about Burning Man for people that don't know about it?
Yes, I think for anyone wanting to come to Burning Man, always do your research, read the website, and then prepare for the worst, hope for the best, lean into your passion, and even the smallest. So you'll see so much large art out here, and it's magnificent. But also, I think most people don't see the small, intimate art. And so you can always be creative, even if it's in the smallest ways, and that's a great first step out here. So don't think that just because you can't do something super big, that it's not worth doing. It's always worth trying, and because art is always a challenge of try again, grow, expand.
Nice.
Yeah.
When people come here, a lot of people have expectations and they're not always met. Do you have any thoughts about expectations?
Yeah, don't have too many expectations. You know, if you're looking at Burning Man through social media lens, that is just one very specific, pretty presentation often. And that beauty does exist, the prettiness does exist, but it does not come without a lot of sweat and effort. And this entire experience is a marathon. Marathons do not happen quickly. It is long, it is slow. So don't be in too big of a hurry. You know, often people want to get to the next thing. They think once they turn off Gate Road, they're just going to be in the city, and it can take hours. So don't hold on to expectations too tightly.
What was that?
Don't hold on to expectations too tightly. Pick a couple things that maybe you really think you want to seek out, and then let the journey come to you, especially if it's your first time out here. Because as much as you think you might know, if you've done your reading, there's gonna be so much that is unexpected. So take that in,
Nice.
Embrace it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Do I have your permission to use this in my documentary, My 20 Years at Burning Man?
I would love that,
Thank
yeah.
you.
And I'm very excited to see it.
Well, can you give me your name and email? I won't include your
Sure.
email, but I'll send. What is your name?
Absolutely. So I'm Claire Foster. Yeah. And
CLAIRE.
CLAIR. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm based in Portland, Oregon these days. So.
And your email?
It's Claire the Green One at Gmail.
Claire CLA.
IR. Yep. And then it's the Green One, all spelled out.
At gmail.com. Thanks,
Yeah,
Claire. Good job.
And what's
I'm
your
Larry
name?
Nimmer.
Larry. Can I take a picture of you so I don't forget?
Yeah, and you could also art on me.
Your name?
I'm Larry Nimmer.
Hi, Larry. I'm Kiki.
Kiki?
Yeah.
And you're with who?
I'm with the census camp.
And tell me some of the census business.
Well, you had just mentioned about the changes happening here, and somebody talked about, oh, there's so many more RVs. And would you be surprised to learn that it's actually about 73% of people are in tents still?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Are there more RVs now than there were 20 years ago?
Probably, yes. We have the data up at our camp, and you can come by and see that data, and it's interesting to see, for example, how many people come here from California versus other states. So from California, we like to ask people, what do you think it is? And it's about 48%. And then from the rest of the country, it's about 46, which is interesting to note.
Is there any one country outside the U.S.? particular?
No, but I can give you the statistics on internationally. We have about 14.5% of people internationally.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
14.5.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Can I
Take
use
care.
this in my documentary?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Certainly. Yeah.
And so I was telling you.
You're talking about different. Wait, I want to just. Where is your?
Oh, did I give you a sticker? Here, I'll go around here.
Census. Yes, you gave me one.
Oh, good. That's where we are. Yep.
Because I would love to see those statistics.
Yeah, come on by. We have it all outside.
Can I?
and
Okay.
you can come and get it, and it's very interesting. Yeah.
So do you want to record me?
Yes. Okay. You ready?
So the way Burning
Wait.
Oh, I know.
I wanted to know what's the differences in Burning Man.
Yeah.
Recording? So I've been coming to Burning Man for 20 years. Some of the differences are more people, more expensive, more RVs, a little less friendliness. People are still friendly. Less nudity. More information about sexual assault, not to do it. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same. It just depends upon what neighborhood you go to and what your individual experience is.
So what brings you back?
I like the art, the openness, the friendliness, the camaraderie. Do anything you want, go anywhere you want, that type of thing.
So are there any surprises this year, or any the reverse of surprises? I'm so glad to see that.
Not really. Okay, anytime. Bye-bye.
Chili?
This is not a sauce.
An invitation for everyone to participate.
Those pours have been
I do not consent.
Those pours earlier today were money.
Guys, this is great to see you. You haven't tried this yet.
Have you not tried a mouth mosa?
It's pretty great.
I have yours.
Yeah, well, no, a mouth mosa.
Yeah, but it's disgusting. Bubbly water and beer, just, I'm sorry.
I mean, Jules, give us a demonstration.
Listen,
You know what a mouth mosa is.
this is my Iron Chef. You Iron Chef over there.
But that together is not a drink. Right?
See? That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. My boy. You got a little more distance on this one? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Clearly. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Gorgeous. Look at that. Champion.
Might be hot.
Get that back, baby. See anything?
Yeah, it's cool.
I was in there for a while the other day.
What do you see?
Very cool.
ask you,
You try for yourself.
what did you see?
I saw the ocean. I saw bright colors. Is this your art project?
No, I'm making a video, my 20 years at Burning Man, so I'm doing something on the art.
This is incredible.
Okay, well, thank you. So, what do you do here?
Well, as a ranger, we protect the range of experience that the participants have.
And what are some of the range?
What's some of the range? Well, we try to help you guys have the experience that you're looking for and avoid the experiences that you're not looking for.
Well, what are some of the bad experiences that happen?
You know, you could get injured if you're can't find your camp. You could forget your water, which we hope you don't do. Things like that. So
and do you
help you out?
Direct people to the infirmary if
We
they're
connect people with services if they need it.
Okay, well, thank you. Can I use this in my documentary?
Sure.
Thank you. Would you like to be interviewed too?
I'm listening to the radio.
Was there any negotiation about that?
Ask Cal. For the love of the I haven't really tried walking up and down it, but I get a feeling it's not going to die.
It's very popular.
Yeah, it's got a lot of experience. Thanks for the journey.
Is that fun? So tell me, what do you like and dislike about Burning Man? You first.
I like to be in a home. It's my answer.
And how does this place feel like home?
Just my life. It's like after Burning Man, it's like routine. A lot of like, it's like, it's like challenge like after Burning Man, and when I came like again, it's like I feel I'm in a home.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Belarus, but I live in America just 5 years probably.
Is there anything
more.
you'd like to change about Burning Man or suggest change?
Oh no. Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, and then I'll ask you in a sec. What was the experience like last year for you?
Last year, do you know it's like same with legend about like man? I has like same for last year man two hearts, past and realistic heart, and make me better because it's like new blood. Like I feel like new blood coming in my body, and just it's make me more stronger,
Well, what
more
about
creative.
the lead and all? Did that bother you?
What do you mean, madam?
The mud. Were you here last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was mud and we couldn't leave right
Oh
away.
yeah, it's
How was that for you?
It's us. It's make us just only stronger. Just yeah, it's experience. Sometimes life like shows just different experience. We need to be happy with any situation. Just yeah, yeah. We don't have like bad weather, you know.
Excellent. May I ask you a question or two?
Please.
What do you like and dislike about Burning Man?
What I like, Burning Man is putting everything to dust. Like your history is going into dust. That's what I like about it. Like it's now, after you arrive home.
Well, with the dust, meaning it just goes away? Or
Yes,
what do you mean?
it's like ashes go flowing into the winds, and you don't have to like cling to it, touch. Like it's a reboot and reset button that works pretty well for many years, at least for me.
Nice. How was the mud experience for you last
I
year?
skipped that.
What?
I skipped that.
Oh, okay, you skipped it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wish could change about Burning Man?
Change, I don't think we can wish for any kind of change, because the change is the only state that is permanent. It's changing itself. We are only able to observe that change and what's happening.
How would you describe Burning Man to someone that hasn't been here?
It's a place where you can not only be whatever you want, but it has a certain energy charge that can boost you into anything you want to be.
Nice. Where are you from?
I'm Russian.
Okay, well, thank you. What do you think of the war?
Well, no, I'm dual citizen, so for me, and I teach spirituality to other people, and I was in Ukraine right before the war. I was in Russia during the war, and I was teaching those classes of peace. And,
Classes of peace?
Yes, and how to be together.
Nice.
But some events, some people, they have to discharge whatever they coped in themselves for a long time. And this is not out of my control to that discharge, like whatever the clash they have, it's their war, and they are the ones who can end it.
I like your glasses. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Love, peace, and freedom to us all. Thank you.
Nicely done. Do I have your permission to use this in my documentary?
Please.
Thank you. And do I have your permission to use this? Do I have your permission to use your interview in my documentary?
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
Feel
and
free.
do I have your... Oh, no. What does DPW do?
The Department of Public Works builds the I would say the skeleton of the city, like the infrastructural base, and then the participants bring the city, right? So we're here to make sure the city is ready for them to do what they do.
What are some of the things that are built?
The man base is what I'm on the man base crew, so this is what I spend all my time building here in the base. There's also waterworks, housing, roadworks, autoworks, a whole bunch of bikes. I don't know them all.
And anything else you'd like to say about Burning Man, the value of it, or what it's like working here?
what it's like working here is a privilege and also a challenge. Like it's a hard environment, but it's the family that I've made out here is everything to me. These are my people.
Well, thank you. Do I have your permission to use this in my document?
Absolutely.
And your name is?
Sparks.
Sparks. Okay. Thank you. Are you from Sparks, California?
Nope.
So you just took my. Could you stand right there? You just took my picture, and where do I find you?
1,000 Faces of Burning Man, the number 1,000 Faces of Burning Man 2024.
Oh, yeah.
We've been waiting for this
Well, this is a lovely little refreshing spot.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm on a art tour for USC. And
What's going on?
Fishing licenses. Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
We're here getting fishing licenses set for everybody. And you can come and catch your own hippie or your fish or whatever you're into. You just reel them in, throw them out there.
I know another camp casts out moof, and then when someone picks it up,
That's what it is. Yeah, we do it with little fishies.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a bar in there?
No, you get a fishing license. You have to get a license.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Back. I knew you needed a fishing license. Come on, girls, come
She was staying in our house. So the old man, my dad, he was hitting on her. I don't think she, accepted it or anything. And then when I brought out my, I had just married, just kind of in here. Like I said, I'm the patriarch of my family, but I don't think I'm going to try to take advantage of any of those. So we. In my opinion, he's an enlightened.
Tell me, what do you like about Burning Man?
I like the spirit. It's kind of like the spirit of humanity. It's kind of like what human beings are capable of being. And I mean, one of the things that I most enjoy is being able to just smile and talk to people and get a smile back, and the camaraderie out in the other world, the default world. It's rare to do that. Maybe once or twice a day with a person here. It's like all the time. Yeah,
that's true. Is there anything you would like to change about Burning Man?
Yeah. One thing that I'm impressed by is the lack of attention given to eating good food, taking care of our body.
So would you like Burning Man to provide more good food? Or?
Well, that would be a help. I don't know if they could do that in working with what they do, but it almost seems like it could be one of the principles, because that's so important in our life, in our health. And I see, a lot of people that are kind of big here, kind of fat. Eating in a commissary, it's kind of a weird experience.
Okay. Let's see, what other questions I want to ask you? How would you describe Burning Man to people who haven't been
Yeah, I would describe it as a place where whatever your preference for ideas or living or whatever things that you enjoy doing in life, you will find it at Burning Man. There's something for everybody. So if you're open to it, you're gonna find it.
Were you here last year?
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of the mud experience and all that?
It was a challenge, but I was camped next to there's a circle of Israeli people camping, and the morning when we woke up to the rain and the water puddle, a guy brought breakfast. So I went out what I could at night, and, dancing, doing what. I went out at night and did what I could. I didn't stop. So it kind of added to the whole experience, seeing how people were dealing with it. Some not so well, some very well.
Do you have any thoughts of what being here helps you bring back to the default world?
Yeah, I usually go back feeling more open, more willing to be open, and not hide myself so much, and just feeling stronger, I guess, in my thoughts about life, and about life is good and people are good. And
anything else you'd like to say about Burning Man, your life?
No, I just think life is beautiful, and it's a joyful experience, and I think Burning Man is a place to express your joy.
Hey, thanks a lot. Do I have your permission to use this in my Burning Man document?
Oh, yes, sure.
Thank you. What's your name?
My real name is
Yeah.
Jerry Schaefer.
Jerry Schaefer.
And the Playa's cut bank kid.
Hey, thanks a lot. You were very articulate.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Very good question.
Thank you.